Hey y'all, happy Tuesday. This is my review for Married to Medicine Season 11, Episode 13? 13? I gotta edit the little title. I think I realized that I put the wrong episode. But anyway, um, before we get into this, I'm just gonna warn y'all, probably gonna disagree with maybe 80% of my perspective on this episode. So just prepare for that, but just keep it cute in the comments, please. And second of all, I'm not really feeling Married to Medicine these days. Like it's just not a fun watch like it used to be, you know? Uh and after this episode, please check out my collaboration. I went on Taria's YouTube and her podcast called the What Else Is Going On podcast, We Go podcast. If you don't remember Taria, she is the woman who was in the courtroom while I was on live, like giving us the breaking news, like the minute by minute playback of what was going on in the courtroom when Karen Huger was about to hear her sentencing. So please check it out. We had a really good kiki. We're talking all things Bravo, especially Potomac, Karen's trial and stuff like that. Look out for it. Yes. So, let's get into this review, y'all. I have a lot to say, a lot of things I disagree with. Let's see. So the couple's trip, it is finally over, thank God. They are back in Atlanta. I must say, I just hate the direction that the show has gone in because it's just a mess right now. And I'm just ready for the season to end, honestly. I'm just ready for it to end. But with that said, let's get into the episode. But when they play the theme song, I gotta enjoy it. So... every time. Look, I can think what I want to think about the show, but that theme song, Chef's Kiss, I know it's a copy, but yeah, it's everything. Oh, thank you. I was just like, I can't wear this like outside because it's freezing. So I'm just like, let me just, rock the sheer right now. So we open with the usual montage. Side note, Contessa seems to be basically back full time, it seems. We're with Toy and Eugene. And did y'all notice what Toy was just casually wearing around the house? Like her ass crack is almost showing. Like, I mean, she looks good, but I'm just like, wow, you just cooking bacon in that? I don't know. I mean, shout out to being just aware that the cameras are there nonstop, no matter what. They're talking about reaching out to Greg and Sweet Tea because it seems like no one has since the trip. Next scene, Quad is visiting Heavenly, my favorite two people. I love how they're just revising history as if Greg just started everything. Greg and Sweet Tea. It is all their fault, y'all. And it's just actually throughout this episode where it feels like the audience is being gaslit on what actually happened. So cut back to Toya and Eugene. They have an anniversary celebration coming up where they want to, everyone to be invited. Excuse me. The issue lies in the two couples being around each other. Now, I'm not sure why everyone's acting surprised when Quad and Greg ended in a very non-amicable divorce. Like, the cast created that explosive situation, and let's not forget, Greg and Quad, they both agreed to be a part of it for the check. So anywho, Quad is telling Heavenly she's having a girlfriend's check-in, and everyone is invited except for Phaedra, who's basically abandoned the group, and Sweet Tea, who is being iced out. Because we know that Jackie, Simone, Heavenly, and Quad, like the four main girls on the cast, they don't want nothing to do with Sweet Tea. So it really almost doesn't matter at this point. Let's see. You said you're done with Married to Medicine. I agree with you. I have not watched the last 3 episodes. Well, I appreciate you still listening to my reviews. Uh, I feel like the wrong side won and are gloating about being on the wrong team. Rich the Fish, we see each other. Well, I thought a lot of y'all was just going to disagree with me this whole time. But yeah, like, can we just agree that 2 things are true? Like, I could put aside that Dr. Greg is a cowardice individual who is a misogynist, male chauvinist. He's an asshole. I really don't enjoy his presence on the show. But, I do feel for Sweet Tea, his wife. And I feel like collectively, they did not start the drama between Quad and King. So yes, 2 things can be true. We get that out the way. If you want to stay married, you wear nothing clothes around the house just because. The entire cast on King's side, maybe there's something the audience isn't being shown. And I'm only reviewing what I see. So maybe they did see something, but so far, like, I don't see like how it's Greg and Sweet Tea's fault. I'm so disappointed in Toya. Mimi shocked me too. I don't even think I would be surprised by Mimi. Like, she is there for the check as well. The core 4 are doing anything to create a storyline, and I hate Toya is joining them in order to keep a check. Quad and King need to take some accountability. That's all I want to say. So next scene, majority of the couples are meeting up for dance rehearsal for Toya and Eugene's anniversary party. Anila and her husband are included in this too. Quad and Sweet Tea and their men, they are absent. The dance rehearsal is for them to learn the waltz because Tacky Toya wants it to be an elegant Bridgerton-like affair. Toya brings up the elephant in the room about everyone who's not there, and they have the impression that Phaedra's just not coming back. So no one cares. When Greg and Sweet Tea are mentioned, Contessa lets them know that Dr. G may have filed a restraining order against King, and the group is gagged. And then here go loud ass Simone. There's been a formal complaint filed. Like, she just has that loud ass. There's been a formal complaint filed. Yes, Simone, there has been a formal complaint filed. Who wore it better? Chris did. I'm kidding. I'm so kidding, y'all. Make sure y'all like the video while y'all in the room. Contessa clarifies that it was the grounds of attempted assault. The group thinks it's bullshit and a bitch move. Now, in the comments, I would love to know, do y'all agree? Was it a bitch move? Was it a bitch move to get the law involved? Now, I'll say that I do think it's petty, because no one was touched at the end of the day. But I think his ego was really hurt. As a man, he's a man. We will get to that part. We will get to that part, y'all. If it's one reason for you to tune into this video, it's for that part. that was the most fun I had watching this episode, was when Greg did his song, and you best believe that I practiced. So I don't know. I will say that I am petty as well. So I can't say I wouldn't do the same thing that Dr. G did, because you charged at me. You charged at me, and we're on TV right now. We're not in the streets. So I'm going to be petty and make it hard for you to film, and I'm going to hurt your check. So yeah, I get it. But, for the people that don't like Dr. G, but I think I probably would have pressed charges too. You're not going to come at me like that. Especially when I'm a doctor and I have more to lose than your ass. So yeah, like, I don't know. We know King isn't going to jail. We know that. So yeah. Let's see. I will press charges. You don't charge this, boo. I will let the court decide if I have a case or not. It was, but he has a career to protect, although he could just stay off reality TV if he's concerned about that. I agree. Someone in Alex's chat suggests that Phaedra put this bug in Dr. G's ear. Interesting. I can see it. I can see it because Phaedra does do her dirt in the dark a lot. If they are doctors, then yes, I can't believe that I am on Dr. G's side. Look, again, I don't like Dr. G at all. At all. But I can't say that I probably would do the same thing. So then we have the head male chauvinist of the group, Dr. Damon, Dr. Daddy Damon, says he saw nothing wrong with what King did. And here goes the patriarchy princess. Who did I get that from? The patriarchy princess. Somebody called Dr. Heavenly that. I apologize because I do want to give that Black content creator their flowers. Who called her that? I think it was Brooke. Was it Brooke Ashley who called her the patriarchy princess? It was somebody. Y'all remind me in the chat so I could give that person their shout out. But of course she's going to chime in and say, well, if you say something about somebody's wife in front of the man, girl, please. And Eugene is trying to provide context and nuance, but Heavenly yells, what would you do if a man says something about your wife? Said, fuck Toya. Like, she then tells him there's two types of men. And I'm like, oh, go on, Dr. Heavenly. Tell us elaborate about these two types of men. We're listening because they probably edited your ignorant ass out, but you weren't able to on your YouTube, and you said the quiet part, the edited part out loud for us to hear. So yeah, there probably are two types of men to you. Definitely. It probably was Erica De Niro. I just can't remember who said it, but shout out to whoever said patriarchy princess, because that is exactly what Dr. Heavenly gives. And also, just speaking of Dr. Heavenly, that shit is comical coming from her, because it's been multiple occasions where she brought up someone else's significant other. So you talk to the wife about their husband, you brought them up in multiple instances. But no, there's no difference concerning her. And I'm glad Contessa pointed that out, but I'm very disappointed that she said it in her confessional instead of at that time. Because it just seemed like everyone has selective amnesia or like revisionist history, as if he called Quad a bitch or something like that. He just said, you have a big fucking mouth, because she does. Like, they kept quiet on their side. Like, they were being cordial and they didn't say anything. Like, they were coexisting with Quad and King. But I think people keep forgetting that Quad was the one that was talking to them. Yeah, Contessa clocked Dr. Heavenly for talking about her husband, though. It's just total hypocrisy. For real. Like, and then that's what I mean by they're gaslighting the audience right now. So the plan amongst the group is for the men, they're going to talk to Dr. G and King separately and hopefully get them both together to squash it. I doubt that happens, but we will see. As for Sweet Tea, though, like, the only girls that care are Toya and Contessa. And it's so crazy. Like, the group of women, they care more about reaching out to King than they do for Sweet Tea in the group. But we get it that these women are Quad's friends. And I say friends in quotation marks because last season, I would beg to differ, actually. Because they threw her out of Napa with the quickness. Again, y'all, we are, 14 minutes in the video. Quad Squad, I know y'all disagree with me. But if y'all look beyond your bias, just listen. Hear me out. So yeah, I just feel like these women don't care if Sweet Tea is back in the group. So if that's the case, then why are you getting the men to talk to Dr. G? Like, y'all already made up y'all's mind and chose a side. So their dance lesson starts, and everyone looks awkward as hell. We give that a fast forward. Next scene, Toya is meeting up with Sweet Tea for lunch, and Mimi is joining them. Toya extends her invite to T and also tells her she doesn't want to be in a position to have to choose between friends, even though she did it this episode. So Toya brings up the restraining order filed by Greg and says, and Sweet Tea says she has no control over that, and that's what he wants to do. And Toya's trying to get the tea, but T shuts her down immediately and said, like, that's not your business. And I mean, is it really surprising that any woman on this show is deciding to stick by her man? Like, she's choosing to stick by her husband's side. It's just like, okay, well, I'm not about to talk him out of pressing charges against King. I'm going to stand by him. I'm just like, no matter if you agree or disagree with it, it's not surprising that Sweet Tea would stand by her man. Oh, yes, I forgot. Happy Mardi Gras. Like, it's Mardi Gras Day in New Orleans. I heard the weather isn't nice at all. Well, it's not supposed to be nice at all during the day. They had Zulu at 6:30 a.m. in the morning, and it was crowded along the streets as if it was 2 p.m. in the afternoon. Crazy. But shout out to my city. It was just like, we are going to celebrate this fucking holiday. Rain or shine. Rain or shine. Toya then has the nerve to turn on Sweet Tea and say, well, there's been times you've been pushed and act out of character. So Toya is really like vouching for King in this moment. And I'm just like, for the record, correct me if I'm wrong, y'all, but Sweet Tea has never started the drama. She's always been the one that's been pushed and brought to that point and was just defending herself more so against a bully. Oh my God. Y'all saying I got, yes, I'm wearing TJ's line of mesh shirts for men. You see a hint of nipple, a hint of it. I think I make it look good. Anyway. But yeah, Toya says that the sandbar, she was at the sandbar, Sweet Tea was out of control. And even her homegirl Mimi chimes in and says, yeah, you weren't yourself. I didn't see my friend. I'm like, if I was T, I'll be like, bitch, you rode with me here. You're supposed to have my back. Like, I brought you around these women. Like, that's crazy. Like, Mimi is like, girl, I'm a part of the show now. They welcome me with open arms. And, the only reason they welcomed her is because, they have respect for her because she has a DR in front of her name, most likely. But yeah, is Mimi Man fine? Is he? Because that's a Stonehenge face. Like, yeah, he got like that swag and he's tall and he got, a little bit of that football player body, but the face card is declined. I'm sorry. He is not cute. Like, he got body or whatever. And, maybe if we turned out the lights, I'll give him some play, but nah. So here we go with the gaslighting. And Toya saying that T has done her fair share of BS. And I'm just like, when? And then messy, tacky Toya has the nerve of being the messenger of saying someone has had their fair share of like BS amongst the group. Mia's man and them teeth. So moving on. So they're talking about T possibly sitting down with Quad, but it seems like she's not moving forward with anything unless she has Greg's approval. Now, I don't necessarily agree with that, but again, like on this particular show, I'm not surprised that T is going to ride or die for her man no matter what. So Toya then asked point blank, does she want to walk away from the group? And T really can't give a straight answer to her. And Toya takes it as T not willing to fight for a friendship. And I'm just like, what friendship? What friendships? For a group that's continuously condoning a bully. That's not friends to me. And T says it's up to Toya if she wants to be around her. And after this, basically, if T doesn't have Toya, then there's no anchor for her to be in this group. Because Contessa doesn't count and Mimi doesn't count. So, yeah, I really think that Sweet Tea should not come back to this show. They can move on without her. It's just like, a group of mean girls is fine, but I'm fine with the mean girls going at it with each other and not them all attacking one person. Simone said at the Bravo event in Miami to Elaine, I'm trying to get another season. It's just too much fake all around. Was Simone at the event? I thought it was who was representing Married to Medicine in Miami? Was it Simone? I can't remember, actually. I got to go back and look. I really don't remember. They want T and Dr. G to sit there and take disrespect and be silent. Exactly. And they've been silent. They were silent earlier. So I don't get that. I really don't. So next scene, we're with a few of the men meeting up, and it is Eugene and Dr. G meeting up with Scott at Scott and Contessa's house. Of course, the point of this is for them to check on Greg and see where his head at, where his head is after the drama. So Greg confirms that he did get the police involved. He sees nothing wrong with it. I am confused about, the charge of battery because, he wasn't touched. But I do understand a restraining order or maybe attempted assault. They already bringing up T walking away. I do think T needs to walk away from the show, but also worried about her being with Dr. Greg. I agree with that. It was Simone and Toya? Maybe it was. Yeah, I'm not really feeling many of the ladies on the cast. They saw Quad coming back, so they used T and found a way to get her out of the group. Yep. I would say Eugene is the one that has the most common sense on this show. They want for T and Dr. G to be like how they all treated Lisa Nicole Cloud and her husband when they were on the show. Oh, yeah. They were punching bags. Absolutely. It was getting uncomfortable how no one was on Lisa's side at all. Your lesbian relationship. So Eugene said he wouldn't have done that, but Greg doesn't care. And he sees the timeline of events differently. They ask him, how can he move forward? Or does he want an apology from Quad? And instead of answering the question, y'all, Greg lets them know that he came up with a song he made out of frustration, just to get that out, to get the emotion out. He brought a mini speaker and his laptop. So this was premeditated. To show them. And I was just like, throughout the whole thing, I was like, y'all, what am I watching? So he opens the laptop, and it's a video of Sweet Tea recording him singing into a mic. The song was hilarious. It really was. Are y'all ready for me to do it? I wrote the lyrics down. Let me get my water. Because this was hard. This was really hard. Greg doesn't want an apology. He wants to get back with Quad. I don't think so, actually. I think he found someone that actually wants to be with him, and he does not want to be with Quad. Oh, you do the song. I'm just saying, okay, me. I'm nervous. It's Set me free. Set me free from the bullshit. I gotta be free. Set me free. I'm a man, I'm just a man. I'm a man. I'm a man, I'm a man. I want to get on with my life now. I got a brand new wife now. My neighbors probably hate me right now. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say. Encore, encore. Set me free from the bullshit. I gotta be free. I'm a man, just a man. I want to get on with my life now. I got a brand new wife now. That's all I got to say. That's all I got to say. Those are the lyrics. I'm just paraphrasing. I'm just saying. Oh, God, that hurts. That really does hurt. I don't see. He must have got bullied in high school, like throughout his entire adolescence, y'all. I'm sorry to put y'all through that, though. I'm sorry to put y'all through that. Set me free. Anyway, I want to. This man was dead serious, y'all. And he needs to be sitting in a cell next to King for this. He really does. The men are speechless at this. And I don't think anything was accomplished. Like, that was the end of the scene after they saw that. They were just like, let's just eat these wings, y'all. We're done for the day. And then at the end of the video, you got Sweet Tea in the background congratulating him. Like, yes, hyping him up. Anyway, next scene, it's the day of Quad's girlfriend's check-in. The ladies are arriving, and Heavenly looks like she was playing in Phaedra's closet. The way she came, like, I was like, she got this orangish red hair, and I'm just like, this is exactly something Phaedra would wear. Let's see. Quad tells the ladies that throughout the event, they are not to bring up the past at all. And if you watch this show, from the beginning, you would think it's Rich coming from Quad. Toya brings up her event coming and tells Quad she's invited, but Quad says due to certain circumstances, she can't be present. And the ladies say they want her there. And I'm just like, so about those circumstances, you had nothing to do with it, right? Nothing. So she says she won't be there if the Lunsfords are there. And Simone says, well, King apologized, but he apologized to the group and, for his actions. And the ladies didn't even check in on Sweet Tea at all, if she was okay. And it just feels like they already chose a side. Like, yes, King apologized to the group, but he didn't apologize to Dr. G. Like, they didn't have a one-on-one. So now Toya's trying to say T put her in the position to choose, which I disagree with that. But, seconds ago, Quad just put Toya in the same position. Like, she didn't tell Quad, well, you don't want to sit down with T. Like, she didn't even present Quad with that option. Like, she did not tell Quad, oh, well, Quad, I think you should sit down with Sweet Tea so y'all both can come to the event. Like, she wasn't pressing Quad as much as she was T. She just wants T to go along to get along and just accept this abuse coming from her group of friends. And then her good friend Mimi says, she lacked accountability. I'm like, Mimi just has that season 12 contract in her view. That's all she has. Like, she has tunnel vision right now. She don't care about the Sweet Tea who brought her in this group. She's like, oh, fuck her. I'm accepted. So, I mean, too bad, too sad for her. That ain't my real friend. Like, Mimi just left her for dead. So now I feel like what Toya is saying makes no sense to me. She says she thinks King and Quad would be able to coexist and stay on a different side of the room. And she's throwing T under the bus, saying that she doesn't feel like, she says Sweet Tea doesn't feel comfortable, as if that's not warranted. And I'm like, of course she's going to feel like uncomfortable. And T said that there was no malicious intent on her end. She has not like approached Quad at all in a crazy way at all. Like, Quad has been the one to approach Sweet Tea as if she was the mistress. She continued to shade Sweet Tea all last season for no reason, unwarranted. And I'm just like, do they not remember the pool party where they were coexisting and they were quiet and keeping to themselves? They didn't say nothing to Quad or King. Like, nothing. And Quad was the one that antagonized them. She turned around and said, oh, she turned around to Sweet Tea, who she knows is having reproductive issues, and said she would throw her a baby shower. I just don't get that. Like, she was the one that was antagonizing and talking to them. Like, she could have just paid them dust the entire time and kept it cute. But yeah, again, it's the gaslighting for me. Speaking of which, she says T is putting her in a position to choose because T has no self-control. So if Toya is going to choose, she's going to choose Quad. And I'm not surprised by that decision. And Contessa, she hypes her up. She's just like, did you hear what she said, Quad? Did you hear what she said? She chose you. She chose you. Heavenly is saying, oh, Toya, I got a whole new respect for you. As if Dr. Heavenly ever respected Toya. Like, she still doesn't respect Toya. Like, when Sweet Tea is off the show, Toya, guess who they're all going to come for? Because remember season 9? I do, because they had 4 of them on your back. They had the real estate girl, Heavenly was on your back, Quad was on your back, and Anila was on your back. It was 4 against 1. And I low-key think Toya, like, she was so happy that there was a new whipping boy on the cast. So yeah, like, okay, Toya, like, they're going to run Sweet Tea off the show. You'll be next yet again because you don't have a doctor before your name as well. And they don't respect you either. But we'll see. We will let you find out. You know, and that's if they renew the season and they don't put it on pause, because they should, low key. But yeah, the bullshit continues as Quad thanks the ladies because they're basically on her side instead of Sweet Tea's. And it's followed by this fake ass group hug. So then next scene, we're at Phaedra's home as she's being visited by Jackie and surprisingly Curtis. And I mean, I guess his trip to the DR was the following week and he was able to make this scene. I'm actually not sure what was the point of this. I already got the interpretation that Phaedra left the show and she doesn't want to be around them. But I didn't know Phaedra considered herself close to Jackie. I was surprised by this, that they're still talking with each other. But Phaedra calling them mean girls, it must have really stuck with Dr. Jackie. And Jackie again says that from her understanding, Phaedra knew Apollo was coming. And then I'm just thinking, regardless, Phaedra says Heavenly likes to put people in crazy situations, which is the truth, and calls her messy and the devil's daughter. The devil's daughter. I agree. I mean, I don't really see it for Phaedra like that. I know y'all don't, but when you write, you write. Heavenly is the devil's daughter. Ironically named Heavenly. Jackie says in her confessional that Phaedra isn't taking accountability and trying to do the same spin that Simone and Heavenly was doing and trying to put mess on Phaedra, inviting check. And I'm just, again, it does not matter that Phaedra brought check because there was no reason Apollo should have been there in the first place. Like Phaedra was just bringing a +1 on the trip because it was a couple's trip. Now, if Dr. Heavenly and Simone had their way, and Phaedra just went there by herself, she would have been the only single person on the trip with her ex-husband and his mistress / wife. So yeah, they wanted to put her in that position so they can embarrass her. So I just don't get that. Again, gaslighting. So then Jackie asked Phaedra, will she come to Toya's event? Which is strange to me because it's not her event to invite Phaedra to. And we already heard from Toya in the beginning that she doesn't care if Phaedra comes or not. Like Phaedra just says point blank, she don't want to be around these heifers and she don't trust them. The credits are rolling and Phaedra tells Jackie there's no moving forward on her part. And that is where the episode ends, y'all. I think it's funny that on Married to Medicine, Phaedra got a taste of her own medicine because she's pulled her fair share of shenanigans on Housewives of Atlanta. So my fucks are few, to feel sorry for her. So I don't care. And, she didn't really bring too much to the show. So her being there or not, I don't care. I don't care. So this episode, it was all right. I just don't care for the gaslighting and the bullshit. I don't like where this show is now, where it's just focused on the exes, because it's just, we're beating a dead horse now. Like either get one of the couples off the show so we can move forward, so, we can go back to the drama being focused solely on the group, because there's women on the cast that are just coasting now. And I don't like it. And I also don't like Sweet Tea being made the scapegoat because I just think it's gross. Like, she is literally like the whipping boy on the cast. They don't respect her. They all like condone Heavenly, like bullying her. So yeah, I just feel bad for her. And especially seeing her like, be in this toxic relationship with this man that she chose to be with. So yeah, like she's just getting it from all ends, and I just don't like it. I don't want to see it. Also, what I thought was rich, very comical, was Simone on Watch What Happens Live going off on Phaedra, saying that she ran back to Atlanta to be with the #1 mean girl, Portia. Now, I get it. Some of y'all don't like Portia. Portia has the things that she does, Mrs. 265 Days. But I know that Simone did not fix her overbite to say the #1 mean girl, because you're standing next to the #1 mean girl on your own cast, who you keep giving passes to, and that is Dr. Demon, the dentist, Heavenly. So how dare you? How dare you? And I hope Portia reads your ass back. Like, I hope it's coming. You know it is. You know Portia got something shady to say. Anywho, y'all, I give this episode a 7 out of 10. It was all right. Didn't love it. Didn't like it. But it was just, satisfactory. Satisfactory episode. Let me read what y'all are saying. Sweet Tea has not been physical with Quad. Quad was the one who chest bumped her. Did that happen? I totally forgot about that. Dr. Eugene said Toya makes more money than him. I can see that. I mean, she's been on this show for like, 10 seasons, 11 seasons? She should be making at least like $700K at least. Also, Toya said Quad should throw the shower, and then Quad put 20 on 10 confirming it. Toya is finally adulting. Is that you, Toya? I'm sorry, but multiple people have expressed how Sweet Tea is out of control. Who outside of the cast? And who leads her to get like that? Sweet Tea getting exactly what she deserves, sliding into that man's DMs, talking about, I'll give you what you want. So just because she slid in his DMs, like if this was two consenting adults, she deserves to get berated on a reality show. She deserves that. I don't dislike Sweet Tea that way or that much to think just because, I mean, if she saw it as a come up or not, like, did she hurt anybody? Like these are two consensual adults that are of age. Yes, it's a big age gap, but she chose this man. She chose to marry him. So, like, to say she's getting what she deserves, I don't know. I think it's a little insensitive, just a little bit. Let's see. Curtis takes trips to DR because he's buying a baby. Oh, you are too much. Phaedra refuses to film with anyone other than Jackie because she's the only person who wouldn't call Phaedra out for her BS. Well, to be fair, Jackie doesn't call a lot of people out for their BS. Housewives of Miami is not this bad. They got it together and came back strong. Let's see. Some people lie. That's all I'm gonna say. She never attacked Quad or Toya. I know like she's never attacked anybody on the cast. Like they've all dogpiled on this woman. And I'm just like, it is not fair. She did not do anything to warrant this at all. Let's see. I mean, yeah, I knew you weren't going to agree with me, and it's fine. I think it's fine. All the women on Bravo and y'all calling Heavenly the meanest is crazy. I mean, she's definitely in the top 5. Definitely in the top 5. These old hags are mean girls like Phaedra says they are. They really think they are all that. Sour Tea physically wanted to fight King. I honestly think Sweet Tea would be great on a different type of show, like a TLC show about age gap marriages. And that's no shade. I actually like her personality, but she's not Bravo ready yet. I agree. I don't want Sweet Tea to come back for her own good. I mean, it was light shade though. Like these women have like literally like gone like hit the white meat with her. Like I don't know. I just don't put that on the same scale of how they're coming at her. Sweet Tea said that Quad chest bumped her. I haven't seen that. Maybe they edited it out. All right. So those are most of the comments, y'all. I mean, look, I get it. If y'all disagree with me, that's fine. If the only thing we can agree on is, I do think that Sweet Tea should not come back on the show. I'd be surprised if any of y'all would want to see her back. I don't think anything else I got to say on this episode. Yeah, I just can't wait till the season ends. I think we got 2 more weeks, and that's it. And then maybe it better be a 2-part reunion, y'all. I don't think I can take a 3-part reunion. But that's it, y'all. With that, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And set me free. Set me free. I'm a man. Bye, y'all. See you later.